Sure, it's my pleasure tonight to introduce co-founder of Compassion United with his wife Carla and its current leader, Luke Reedus. As many of you know, Compassion United, or CU for short, is a diverse group of ministries with an important presence in Conroe, helping the forgotten, marginalized, and hopeless Montgomery County. They do it through outreach, relief, and empowerment. Helping with building and restoring faith is an important part of CU's work. 2023 has been a good year for CU with lots of important impact. Luke, thank you for being with us tonight. It's all yours.
Great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to share with you all the exciting things that have taken place this year. First and foremost, the word has gotten out, though, that we do serve the best coffee in town. So thank you all for that. I'm just going to kind of talk through. I've got 2 pages of bullet points here, and so if this starts getting too long, somebody just wave a hand at me. But I think we'll be able to get through it. And if y'all have any questions while I'm talking, please feel free to stop me. So one of the things that was a little bit disappointing this year, I'll start there, is we really expected to see a lot more forward momentum in the construction project. Does anyone not know about the Miracle City?
Why don't you give us a little background, Luke, just in case somebody doesn't?
Sure. So Miracle City is our 5-acre campus that we are in the process of building out that is dedicated to offering all of our services that transition people out of homelessness. We were given 5 acres of land by the city of Conroe in 2019. We began construction in early 2021, and then we moved into our building in 2022, our first building on site. Let me see if I can, maybe I can pull this up. If not, okay, am I able to do this? Hold on a second here.
Laura,
you should be, I thought I'd given, oh, wait.
Here we go. I got it. So just to kind of give y'all an idea, this is a little bit about what the campus looks like. Currently, this building over here has been completed, minus the carpentry and the body shop. And so that's our empowerment center. And there we have 5 days a week, we have a church service for the homeless. We have a bus that goes and picks them up and brings them on site. They get breakfast, clothing, and we've expanded a lot of what we offer there. And I'm going to go into that in a moment. The phase two is going to be the construction of these 3 transition homes. It's actually going to be one for men, one for women, and one for women in crisis pregnancy, or really it's going to be women, single women and their children, because that's a huge need in the county. And then this is phase 3, is our Miracle City Day Center. And that day center is going to house everything that we do in the mornings, as well as expanded things, such as we're going to have in-house showers and a laundry room. We're going to have a computer room, an expanded clothing closet, and we're going to have office space for partner agencies, and we're also going to have a free medical clinic. And so that project is funded right now to the tune of $2,050,000, and we think that that's going to be enough to complete the project. And then we're launching a campaign to fund these 3 transition houses. And so we had really expected to see more movement in construction on that this year, but the holdup has actually been in permitting. But we have our site plan has been approved as of 3 weeks ago, and so we should start moving some dirt pretty soon. And our architect has submitted the construction drawings for our day center. I'm sorry, those haven't been submitted yet. Those are going to be submitted by the end of this week. And there's a long bid process and everything for that. So probably won't see any construction on that building until second quarter of next year. But in spite of the lack of movement in construction, we did experience just a time of what I would consider expansion and enhancement. So we've had our morning services since 2009. And it started off as just a place for people to come get a cup of coffee in the morning. That turned into a church service because it was what they wanted, and it's now a collaboration with 60 plus churches and local businesses to provide everything that we do there. And so what we found though is having our own building and not just one that we were renting, we were actually able to spend more time with the people who were coming in and get an idea of what they needed. And so we have expanded the services that we offer there in the morning. We pulled in a friend of one of our community partners is Missions on Wheels, and so they pulled in a 40-foot shower trailer, and so now we have a 7-stall shower trailer, and we're able to do 21 showers a day. And that's about as many as anybody wants to take. So in addition to that, we've set up a laundry ministry, and so that looks like one of our leaders going over to a laundromat. Our bus takes people to that laundromat, and our leader sits there and pumps the card into the washing machines, and then we give people bus passes so they can get on the city bus and get where they need to go from there. And we're doing 40 to 60 loads of laundry a week. We have an on-site career coach 2 days a week now, and so people are sitting down and going through how to do interviews, how to write a resume, and how to fill out the job application. And they've got clean clothes and they're clean, so they can actually go and do that. We are also working with Tri-County, and Tri-County is hosting group counseling sessions. Tri-County is a mental health agency in the county, and they're hosting group counseling sessions, and they're able to be on site to actually meet and facilitate the needs of the clients that they're working with as well. And so that is significantly more than what we've been able to accomplish historically, and we're just so excited about that. In addition, though, we're now part of the Houston Coalition for the Homeless, as well as Conroe Coalition for the Homeless, and so with both of these coalitions, we're working with various agencies to help people find housing a lot more quickly. But what has really shined, and I'm so proud of Carla, my wife, for this, is the level of case management that we've been able to provide. And so, typically with a social service, they show up, they get a case manager gives them a list of things that they have to go do, and then it's up to them to work it out. But because of our understanding of things like executive function and language registers and all of the different aspects that keep complex trauma, all of the different aspects that keep people in homelessness and poverty, we understand that that's not necessarily setting them up for success. And so Carla, whether it be her or one of our volunteers, actually walks with them through the processes that they need to go through to apply for the services that they need, get their ID, get jobs. If they're trying to find long-term supportive housing, she goes with them to their appointments, and she makes sure that they understand everything that's going on. Once they get into their apartments, she shows up there, she bugs them, she makes sure that they have everything that they need and that they're still actually able to be part of our community. And we've seen some tremendous success with that. Furthermore, that's not so, these other agencies that are offering the housing component, they're not able to offer that level of case management. So it's helping make their program a lot more successful as well, because the people are actually able to stay in the housing that's provided. And so really excited about that. So in addition to the 20 churches and local businesses, we've also engaged with over 20 community partners and agencies to work collaboratively to serve the community. That being Volunteers of America, Salvation Army, Community Assistance Center, Tri-County, Montgomery County Hospital District, Interfaith Community Clinic, and I'll get to that in a second. And that's one of the things. That's the United and Compassion United, is just our desire to just plug in with other agencies who are already doing something well and see how we can all work together. And then also just being a place where they can meet their clients so that their clients don't have to come to them. We have increased the amount of training that all of our staff has done in the area of complex trauma and PTSD. You know, our firm belief is that this is why, you know, if most of the the diagnoses that people receive for, you know, mental health diagnoses and whatnot, addiction, everything that's leading people to be homeless, all of that stuff is symptoms, and the underlying problem here is trauma. And so our staff has done a deep dive for the past 2 years in understanding this. And so we've had 5 more people complete trauma recovery training this year, including I've completed a certified trauma recovery coach course, and we've been able to offer more to both our residents and our day clients in regard to that. We have increased the amount of transportation services that we have now. We started our bus pass program, so we're able to help people get to all of the agency meetings that they need. And this is all stuff that they need to just get off of the street. And then we also opened the Compassiom Community Care Center. You were there for that, weren't you, Todd? Did you come out for that?
I did. Yeah.
So our C4 is a building. It's out on our food pantry campus. And we had that building remodeled. Yeah, y'all, for last year for Christmas, that helped pay for some of that. So that opened in May, and we have Interfaith Community Clinic is there every Tuesday, and they have a doctor on site, and they're seeing patients, as well as we have office space there for Montgomery County Hospital District, and CAC. They are the ones who meet there consistently, but we make that space open and available for any agency that needs to meet clients in that area. Okay, so we have had, so some of the ministry impact things, we've had about 700 volunteers this year so far. Served 6,730 hours for an economic impact of $204,000 in the community. That includes the addition of 13 new volunteer groups that are participating in the various things that we're doing, whether it be at the food pantry, on the Miracle City campus, or our breakfast in the park outreach. We are officially operating the largest mobile food market in Montgomery County, and we do that at Lewis Park after we serve breakfast out there. I think we're up to 450 families are being served whenever we're out there for our mobile food market. The food pantry served 50,000 individuals this year so far. That's over 700,000 pounds of food, and that amounts to 583,333 individual meals. That's a lot. So we are seeing in our children's and youth programs, we're seeing 60 plus children per week. And what was launched this year that's doing very well is we're actually creating a space for the parents. And so we've been in this community working with some of these children since 2012, and it's always been difficult for us to reach the parents. But now that we have the building on the Miracle City campus, parents are coming and they're actually participating in like a church small group while their kids are being ministered to out in the larger area. So we have increased the number of classes that we are offering to our day clients now. That includes the job skills that I talked about earlier, the resume help, We actually have a gardening class that they're absolutely loving, and they have these individual little tubs where they're making their own little garden in those tubs, and that's been very exciting. If you give them something to care for, it gives them value, and that has really meant a lot to them. And it's been just beautiful to watch them show up, get a cup of coffee, and go outside and water their plants. That's been very cool. We gave out over 200 backpacks full of school supplies to children in the area. At Miracle City, we served 22,000 breakfasts, 700 showers, and 2,800 bus passes so far. Let me go to the next page here. I've already covered that. These are some really exciting numbers, and so we have 2 transition houses right now, one for men and one for women, and these are part of our residential program. So since we have switched our programming to include the trauma recovery aspect of what we do, we have an 88% employment rate currently. Our residents in our transition homes have maintained a sobriety rate of 95%. Now, your average 12-step program is somewhere around 6 to 8% on a good day, and for 2 years, ours has been 95%. Through that program, we've provided 30 people with housing, with food, and with that discipleship, and our retention rate is 83%. So we're really excited about getting these transition homes built because we feel like that's going to increase our effectiveness and our capacity. And with these success rates that we've been seeing, we're going to be able to see a lot more people getting help. So we have a training program that we offer called People Helping People. And this is a training program that teaches people who want to help people how to do so in a way that doesn't enable. And so we've trained 100 people this year through our People Helping People program. And we were awarded an additional $800,000 for the day center. And yeah, so those are the bullet points. Now, as we move forward into 2023, just very, very briefly, I'll share something that's very exciting. I had mentioned earlier about our focus on complex trauma as a way of addressing the symptom of homelessness. This is something that we started doing 2 years ago, and we all went through the training as though we needed recovery, and then we went through the deeper training aspect of it. And we have seen this program to be so valuable that we started a group earlier this year. I've started leading a group that was for people who aren't part of our transition program. Before that, it had only been for our residential clients. And that has taken off really well. And so what we're going to do as we move forward, so 2 weeks ago, I went and spent a week in Canada with the Tim Fletcher organization, and they are the ones who have credentialed us to offer this program that we're offering. So I observed a center that they have up there. Now, this program globally has a 67% success rate. And as I mentioned earlier, locally in our residential program, it's got a 95% success rate. And so we just really feel like this is something that's going to be beneficial to the community at large, not just people in our residential program and not just the unsheltered that we deal with. And so I began speaking with the mayor and with our municipal judge months ago about us bringing this to Conroe, and we have in January, we have someone coming down from the Tim Fletcher organization, and they're going to spend 20 days with us getting set up. And in February, we're going to launch what's called, it's a fully functional REACT Center. And so REACT stands for Recovery and Education for Addiction and Complex Trauma. And this will offer an intensive outpatient program for anyone who's struggling with substance addiction or process addiction due to developmental complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So we currently have, like I said, we had 5 people go through training this year. We have 3 more who are currently in it. But once we launch this REACT Center, we'll be able to credential our own facilitators, and we're going to be able to offer groups to people coming through the court system, to corporations in the area, to anyone who's in need. And our goal is to put 100 people through recovery by the end of 2024. Knowing the amount of success that's been experienced through this, we really feel like this is going to have a dramatic impact on the community. You have a question? I see a hand raised.
Aaron, it looks like you
Hi.
got a hand up.
Aaron?
I'm just blown away by all of this. I think it's so wonderful. I was wondering if you guys partner with, and I'm speaking as both a member of the outreach team and a parent of a teen who's struggling with trauma-based mental illness and substance abuse disorder.
Yeah.
Are you all partnering with anyone to address the unsheltered issue of teens who have aged out of the foster system, who may end up becoming, homeless or unsheltered?
Yeah, so we do work closely with Angel Reach for that. In
Great.
fact, I met with George Lindahl, who's on their board. We met and we discussed, and we're going to be offering groups specific to Angel Reach, offering our recovery program to them just to come and to participate in that, as well as we're going to talk, with people who were victims of trafficking or survivors of trafficking as well. But yeah, we work very closely with Angel Reach and have for several years. We really
That's
value the work that
fantastic.
they're doing, and are excited about the village that they're building. We think that's really cool. So, and then this programming that we're bringing in also has a version of it that is geared toward teens who are struggling with addiction. But then one of the things that's really fascinating about this is, like, I'd mentioned that we've all gone through the program as though we were in need of recovery. And I don't know how many of you have heard, the backstory of my life, but it was a pretty rough childhood. And when I was going through this process, 2 things became very, very apparent to me. One is that everything I thought I had dealt with, I hadn't dealt with. And so it gave me the opportunity to heal from a lot of things. But the other thing that it made me very aware of is the fact that in my unhealed condition, I had kind of traumatized my own kids in many respects. And so one of the things that we'll also be offering is a recovery, is a support group for people like me who realize, I didn't always hit a home run when I was raising my kids, and we really feel like this is something that is going to be a blessing to the community. I don't know. I firmly believe, I'm an advocate for this. I firmly believe that we would see a majority of homelessness and addiction completely disappear if we would just address this one thing. And so I'm very passionate about this. I'm very passionate about making people aware of it. And I've also been very committed to educating not only myself but my staff in how to facilitate this in a positive, productive, and healing way. And we are seeing, just in how we interact with people on a day-to-day basis, learning how to de-escalate situations from a trauma-informed perspective, and how to make people feel safe. It's just completely changed the dynamic of what we do, and I'm just so excited to see how it's changing people's lives. So I think that is about all of the exciting news I can give right now. Does anybody have any further questions? I realize that's probably like drinking from a fire hydrant.
Luke, just one suggestion. In our one-to-one conversations, I've been impressed over the years about your distinction between enabling and empowering. Would you talk for a minute about that? I think the rest of the group would like to hear that, probably, just for a second.
Absolutely. So our approach, or our belief, is that mercy is kind of a spectrum, right? And on one side you have relief, and the goal is to move people toward empowerment, just move them along that spectrum to empowerment. And empowerment looks like helping them take care of themselves to the degree that they are capable. And to fail to do so would be to rob them of a certain dignity. And so our approach is to, even with so to give you an example, in our transition program, if someone comes into our transition program, we don't sit down and write the plan for them and tell them, this is what you're going to do, right? We sit down with them and ask them what would make them happy in life. When they graduate from this program, what are they going to call success, right? And so they get to define that. And if it's just more mediocrity, like I just want to get a job and get back on my feet, then we don't really, we encourage them to dream bigger by questioning, right? But what we don't do is we don't do everything for them, right? We don't give them a plan, because they're not going to work my plan. They're going to work their plan. And likewise, I'm not going to do everything for them. We feel that if we can teach people how to do something for themselves, that's what's really going to stick, so there's the if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man a fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And I firmly believe that. I do believe that it's a lot easier to teach him to fish when he's not hungry. So there is going to be an element of meeting that relief need. But I can barely take care of myself. I don't need to be anyone else's savior. And we do more harm than good when we try to be the solution to everyone's problems. And so my staff is trained, and our volunteers are trained to not be the solution. We employ a coaching modality, which is not prescriptive, meaning I'm not going to listen to your problem and tell you what you need to do to fix it. I'm going to listen to your problem and ask you what you've considered, ask you what your options are, ask you what makes sense, ask you what seems right to you, and then maybe ask you if you would like some suggestions, but I'm not going to fix your problem for you. And the result of that, like in our residents, is them coming back to us on Tuesday nights and on Thursday nights when we have group meetings and we have classes. And they get so excited to explain to us how they use the tools that they've been given to handle conflicts at work, to set boundaries with unhealthy family members, to make wise purchasing decisions when they buy their cars, and to talk about situations where they felt like they were in danger of relapse and how they handled it. And so I don't know if that encompasses what you had in mind, Todd, but it is something that we're passionate about.
That's exactly it. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
We have a couple minutes for other questions.
Come on, I'm not that good. I'm sure there's. All right.
Well, it sounds
Well,
like not. I guess, Luke, the next time we see you at WCPC will be in early December for the Christmas market.
Yeah, I'm going to be there December 3rd, I believe, is the day that Savannah has me there. So I'm really looking for. I enjoyed it last year, and so I'm looking forward to being back this year.
Very
Thank you
good.
so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you all for the opportunity. I hope that was informative and somewhat coherent after a 15-hour day. So
Very much. Thank you so much.
thank you all.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have a great night. Enjoy the
too.
rest of your meeting. Bye.